Kathy Park, thank you. With intense new Russian attacks at home, Ukraine's President Zelensky faced increasing skepticism in Washington today over more American aid as he appealed to Congress and met with President Biden. Peter Alexander is at the White House.
President Zelensky tonight punctuating his personal push for more help from Washington.
Mr. President, how important is this visit?
Very important, Zelensky told me, as he and his wife were greeted at the White House by President Biden and the First Lady. A red carpet welcome for a discussion about the harsh reality of war.
No nation can be truly secure in the world if, in fact, we don't stand up and defend the freedom of Ukraine.
Despite polls showing American support for additional U.S. aid to Ukraine waning, President Biden is urging Congress to approve another $24 billion in military and humanitarian assistance. Earlier, Zelensky laying a wreath at the 9/11 memorial at the Pentagon and meeting privately with senators detailing the stakes.
Earlier, Zelensky laying a wreath at the 9/11 memorial at the Pentagon and meeting privately with senators detailing the stakes. Wreath. A wreath is an arrangement of flowers and leaves in the shape of a circle, which you put on a grave or by a statue to show that you remember a person who has died or people who have died. The coffin lying before the altar was bare, except for a single wreath of white roses.
Mr. Zelensky said, if we don't get the aid, we will lose the war. That's a quote from him.
Still, Republican opposition to more aid has been growing, with 29 Republicans in a letter to the White House today, arguing against new funding. Others demanding answers about the billions already spent.
I thought it was direct. I thought it was productive. I raised issues with them. We're very concerned about accountability.
Today's visit comes just hours after Russia unleashed a wave of new attacks targeting Ukrainian power plants. Tonight, Zelensky optimistic his forces will get the help they need.
We were happy that senators, the Congress, White House, really United States, of course, just for all people of America, really support us.
Tonight, President Biden just announced $325 million in already approved military funds for Ukraine, but not the long-range cruise missiles Zelensky's been lobbying for. Lester?
Peter Alexander, thank you. In 60 seconds, the severe weather we're tracking tonight, and Rupert Murdoch retiring as head of his media empire. Please stay with us. Much of the East Coast is in for a weekend washout. Tropical storm warnings are in effect for parts of the mid-Atlantic. Heavy rain and high winds expected from the Carolinas to New England. Up to 6 inches of rain is forecast for some places, with potential for flooding. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour are possible. One of the most influential and controversial media figures of our time is stepping down. Rupert Murdoch announcing his retirement today. NBC's Chloe Melas has more.
With a media legacy spanning 70 years, tonight, billionaire media titan Rupert Murdoch says he's stepping down from Fox and News Corp.
With a media legacy spanning 70 years tonight, billionaire media titan Rupert Murdoch says he is stepping down from Fox and News Corp. Titan. If you describe someone as a titan of a particular field, you mean that they are very important and powerful or successful in that field. He is the richest business titan of this country.
In a note to employees, Murdoch said, "The time is right for me to take on different roles."
Rupert Murdoch created all of this and so much more across America and the globe.
Keeping a title of chairman emeritus, he now passes the torch to his oldest son, Lachlan.
Keeping a title of chairman emeritus, he now passes the torch to his oldest son. Emeritus. Emeritus is used with a professional title to indicate that the person bearing it has retired but keeps the title as an honor. He will continue as chairman emeritus,
who will become sole chairman. At 92 years old, the decision was expected, but Murdoch noted it was not due to his health, saying our companies are in robust health, as am I.
Rupert Murdoch passing the torch to his son Lachlan. Do you think that things will change in how Fox News is run?
I don't. For the foreseeable future, I think Lachlan's going to run the company the same way his father did.
The mogul's resignation marks the end to one of the most storied and controversial careers in modern media.
The mogul's resignation marks the end to one of the most storied and controversial careers in modern media. Mogul. A mogul is an important, rich, and powerful businessman, especially one in the news, film, or television industry. But the era of the global mogul is over.
The Australian media titan started building his empire back in the 1980s, buying tabloids from Australia to Britain.
The Australian media titan started building his empire back in the 1980s, buying tabloids from Australia to Britain. Tabloid. A tabloid is a newspaper that has small pages, short articles, and a lot of photographs. Tabloids are usually considered to be less serious than other newspapers. The tabloid speculated as to whether she was having an affair, and with whom.
As well as the New York Post. But one of his biggest passions was news. In 1996, Fox News Channel was born, giving conservative voices an outlet. While Fox News has dominated cable, controversy and scandal followed, including being sued over false allegations against Dominion voting systems, resulting in a $787 million settlement earlier this year, and the firing of Tucker Carlson, one of the network's most highest-rated stars. Tonight, as Murdoch passes the torch, he has made it clear he does not intend to sit on the sidelines.
Tonight, as Murdoch passes the torch, he has made it clear he does not intend to sit on the sidelines. On the sidelines. If you are on the sidelines in a situation, you do not influence events at all, either because you have chosen not to be involved, or because other people have not involved you. France no longer wants to be left on the sidelines when critical decisions are made.
Saying he will remain an active member of our community. And with his son now chairman, big changes aren't expected as this transition plays out. Chloe Malas, NBC News, New York.
And up next, deliveries now come at any hour of the day or night, but is our quest for convenience putting people at risk? A new investigation after this. Back now with our NBC News investigation in collaboration with tech and business publication The Information, looking at the independent contractors Amazon uses to deliver packages often at odd hours and the sometimes deadly danger they face. Here's Stephanie Gosk.
At the heart of Amazon's success is speed. More deliveries, faster, at all times of the day. To make that happen, the company relies at least in part on a program called Flex.
Amazon Flex is a program where independent contractors can go pick up delivery routes.
Independent contractors makes it sound very official. These are just regular people, right?
Yeah.
Regular people like George Hunt, who drive their own cars to make deliveries, often either very early or very late.
Almost your entire shift is in the dark.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Absolutely. I beat the sunrise every morning when I'm done.
Good job! The extra cash helping his young family, which is how he ended up making a delivery around 4:30 a.m. on the south side of Chicago in 2022. Outside the car with package in hand, he heard the engine rev behind him.
I kind of turned around almost dumbfounded.
Dumbfound. If someone or something dumbfounds you, they surprise you very much. This suggestion dumbfounded Joe.
I'm not piecing together.
I am not piecing together. Piece together. If you piece together the truth about something, you gradually discover it. They have pieced together his movements for the last few days before his death.
This is literally a carjacking happening.
And then he says the carjacker pulled a gun.
He fired one shot. It hit me in the shoulder. I heard more shots.
One bullet went through his leg. The other lodged just short of his spinal cord.
Lodge. If an object lodges somewhere, it becomes stuck there. The bullet lodged in his leg, shattering his thigh bone.
His story, one of several uncovered by a report in The Information, a tech and business publication, raising questions about Flex drivers' safety.
They're not required to wear vests, they use their own cars, and if bad things happen to them on the job, generally Amazon says it's not our fault. You're not our employee.
Reporter Theo Waite found 5 Flex drivers shot in 4 separate incidents since 2022. 5 others he spoke with said they had guns drawn on them by homeowners, and he found dozens of unverified accounts in chat groups.
Homeowners were just seeing someone drive up in an unmarked car and being, baffled about who this person could be in their driveway.
Homeowners were just seeing someone drive up in an unmarked car and being baffled about who this person could be in their driveway. Baffle. If something baffles you, you cannot understand it or explain it. The new tariff statutes baffle me.
Basically, homeowners are coming out scared.
Right, that's right.
In a statement, Amazon says these incidents with guns are tragedies, but are exceedingly rare.
In a statement, Amazon says these incidents with guns are tragedies but are exceedingly rare. Exceedingly. Exceedingly means very or very much. We had an exceedingly good lunch.
Adding safety is a priority, and the company is continually investing to protect drivers. Flex drivers choose among available routes, and an app allows them to communicate directly with customers. They can refuse to deliver a package if they arrive and feel unsafe, according to company policy.
While we technically had the right to refuse a route, we risked deactivation.
Hunt says this sign was posted at the delivery station last year when he was shot. You may choose to leave the route, but will not be given another, it says. The sign was removed more than a year and a half ago and was a violation of company policy, according to Amazon. Now Hunt is suing for workers' compensation to pay his medical bills. And he moved his family to South Bend, Indiana, where he continues to pick up routes for Amazon, staying extra vigilant.
My wife and I are saving to buy a house. I mean, any extra money certainly helps.
The money, he says, is good, and his family needs it. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, South Bend, Indiana.
Up next for us tonight, today's emotional reunion after an incredible rescue at sea.
Of how we can pay forward the blessings.
Finally, the dramatic rescue at sea and the emotional reunion today between a man and those who saved his life. Here's Sam Brock.
We will never forget how you didn't just save one young man's life, but you saved an entire family. The man.
For a village of first responders, tears, hugs, and gratitude from the Gregorys. Their son Charlie disappeared at sea for nearly 40 hours last month off the coast of St. Augustine.
When you're out there in the middle of the ocean, what did you think were the chances of your survival? Zero, for sure. Yeah. You thought you were going to die?
Oh, 100%. I was sure I was going to die. It was just a matter of when.
Charlie tells me his 3 a.m. fishing trip was in the intracoastal close to land, but when a wave knocked over his boat and dumped his flares and cell phone out, he was whisked away 12 miles with no working motor.
Just and died on me.
His 8-foot aluminum boat, submerged in water, was surrounded by sharks the same size.
God, I saw probably 20 or 30 my whole time being out there.
The odds of a reunion, minuscule at best.
The odds of a reunion minuscule at best. Minuscule. If you describe something as minuscule, you mean that it is very small. The film was shot in 17 days, a minuscule amount of time.
With several agencies in the water and the U.S. Coast Guard by air looking for a coconut in the ocean until the radar picked up something.
It's one of the happiest days of my career.
The shock from Charlie's parents, evident on that day in early August.
I should never give up hope. Don't give up on the big guy.
And evident certainly now.
He's alive. Charlie's been found. He's alive. And we went from dead to living in a split second.
And we went from dead to living in a split second. A split second. A very brief moment of time. He made a split-second decision and saved the child from danger.
A miracle reunion, but also a restoration of sinking hope. Sam Brock, NBC News, St. Augustine.
And that's Nightly News for this Thursday. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.